Awesome. Welcome back, guys. We are here for episode 12 of Helmets and Headbands. We normally kick off with some sports, but it still is sports, but we're going to go right into an interview with Team Discmania member Dana Vicich. He's also a part of Smashbox podcast. They're live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Time on their YouTube account. So let's get Dana on the line here and get an interview about his disc golf career and life.
Here, come to the bathroom.
Hello?
Hello.
Dana.
What's going on?
How's it going, man?
It's going good. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, dude.
Let me hit my video button. See what's going on here. You'd think it's my first Skype interview.
Well, no, you don't need to do the video. We actually
Nice.
the audio is just fine.
All right, good. 'Cause I don't have a shirt on.
Well, let's just kind of give people, because a lot of our friends that watch don't necessarily follow disc. But start about like what age did you start playing?
I started playing disc golf when I was 18 in 2002. I was up in Michigan. I'm from Illinois, Ottawa, Illinois, and I was up in Michigan playing a baseball tournament. And it so happened that the shop, like a skateboard shop or some shop right by the hotel, sold discs. and me and some friends bought one, and sure enough, tournament was over. It was my last tournament ever for baseball, so we bought these discs and kind of threw them around, and by chance, they had just opened a course, Fox River Park, in my hometown of Ottawa. So I came home, and the course had literally just opened, so I think it was kind of fate that I
That sounds like it.
Yeah. Wow. When did you start playing competitively?
So that was in 2002. I didn't start playing competitively for a few more years. I went to college at Illinois State University, and I started playing some of the leagues in Bloomington Normal and going over to the Peoria Frisbee Club and playing in their leagues. That would have been 2004-ish, 2005-ish, and I think I played my first PDGA tournament in I played one in '05, and then I started playing a little bit more in '06, and I played Am Worlds in 2007 in Milwaukee.
Cool. All right, and so sort of in the earlier part of your career, when you're just having a couple of discs, what about the sport itself kind of drew you in and started collecting more discs and sort of being more into the competitive aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, having played sports all my life, whether in team sports, I should say, I played soccer, baseball, basketball. I was always practicing, going to practices, playing games, playing tournaments, all that stuff, working out for that. And when I went to college, there was kind of a void, and disc golf, came along at that right time, and it helped fill that competitive void that was in my life. And then just started meeting all these great people who were disc golfers. And for anyone that's thrown a frisbee, I don't think I really need to explain, but throw a frisbee and or a disc, and you throw it and it does what you want it to do. It's a very addicting thing. So
Very satisfying.
here I am 15 years later, playing, and disc golf is it's more or less my life.
Hey Dana, it's Keith here.
Hey Keith.
When you first started disking, was it something you felt like you were pretty good at right away? Did you have a knack for it when you first started, or did you kind of crummy?
You know what? I would have liked to think that I had a knack at it, but definitely not. I was able to beat on my friends that picked up the sport at the same time as me. Not all the time, but being fairly athletic, I kind of picked it up quick. But to get to a higher level, to actually get good, it took me a long time and a lot of trial and error. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's definitely what the sport is. A lot of trial and error, and it'll mess with your head. That's for sure. I've read online that you don't actually tour full time. What do you do back home to support yourself and your?
Yeah, so right now I do a few different things. My main gig, I am a disc golf park representative. Disc golf park is a full turnkey disc golf course solution. What we do is provide everything that you need for a disc golf course, starting with professional design, targets, tee pads, tee signs, all the mapping for that. So I do sales with Disc Golf Park, and then of course design the courses with them.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's not as glorious as it seems, because it's a lot of phone calls and emails, and
Yeah.
maybe getting ignored, or then finally getting somewhere, and then all of a sudden you lose it for whatever reason. So, but I'm getting better at it, I believe, and I think I do have a knack for designing courses, so I do enjoy that. When I'm not doing that, I also substitute teach during the school year, and then in the summer is when I play a lot of tournaments now, and we also have my daughter is going to be 2 years old in July, so I'm able to spend time with her, and she goes to daycare some part of the time. So yeah. I'm pretty busy.
Yeah,
It
it
sounds
definitely
like it.
sounds like it. We're from the Illinois area too. We're from the Quad Cities,
Oh, yeah.
and have you designed anything in the Illinois area, like maybe around you up in the Ottawa area?
Yeah, yeah. I've worked on a few different courses there. I've got some co-designs with a guy named Dan Nagel. We worked on IVCC, Illinois Valley Community College, with Wes Black over there. There's a 9-hole course with dual tees. Helped out with that design. Skydive Chicago has a private course that's in Ottawa. Marilla Park in Streeter. It's a really beautiful park. Dan and I also designed that. I had a little bit further south of Streeter, Pontiac, Illinois. I'm actually running a tournament there, May 13th, Swinging Bridge Open. But that's
nice.
Yeah, in Marilla Park. It's a really beautiful park. Another really fun 18-hole course. It's something that beginners will like because you're not going to lose discs, and then if you're a more serious player, there's enough challenge to keep you coming back. But those are some that I've done that way. Up here in Tinley Park, just east of me now, we put in the first disc golf park in Illinois. This, I guess it finally opened end of last year. So that's about it. There's a few others that I've worked on or consulted on, helped out a little bit with Round Barn Farm. I've got one going in Elgin in Rolling Knolls, Illinois. That's going to open in June, I think. So I've had my hand on a few projects and definitely have a lot more that I'm working on. And unfortunately, they generally don't happen overnight. So it's a lot of working and waiting. And
Do you see a lot of growth in that business? Does it make it seem like the sport is actually growing as a whole? When you get more, are you getting more people calling about wanting disc courses around their area?
Oh, definitely. Like we attend some conferences throughout the year, and people. I'm finding that more and more people are coming up, and they already know about disc golf, and I think that's
That's awesome.
But we're really busy when we go to the conferences, talking to a lot of people, making a lot of contacts. But one of the things is I'm not having to explain disc golf as much, and I think that's a sign that it definitely is growing.
Yeah.
And so with these sort of the upbringing of these courses and people's knowledge growing, are there any innovations or sort of anything maybe in the next 5 to 10 years that you could see disc golf implement to sort of bring it to the masses or bring it to like the ESPNs or things like that?
That's a tough question. I think one thing that I don't know on the course design side, it's so hard to design like an everyday course that challenges, say, that will work well for, say, like the Disc Golf Pro Tour or the Disc Golf World Tour, because you want to really challenge those upper level players, but that might not be the best thing for, say, a park district. But one thing that we're seeing more and more is golf courses turning to disc golf to help keep their doors open or to help bring in more added revenue. And with that's opening more doors up for us. But I think that the great work that Steve Dodge and the Disc Golf Pro Tour and UC and the Disc Golf World Tour, that's what's going to help bring disc golf more mainstream. I don't know if it'll ever get ESPN status, but I mean, we're sure seeing quite a few aces on
absolutely.
SportsCenter top 10. So that's a good sign. But
you know what I don't like about it? Whenever it is on there, it's awesome. Like the announcers are always like kind of backhanding compliments almost with it.
Yeah, and I've caught onto that a little bit too. And the way I look at it is we're getting disc golf, more eyes on disc golf.
Yeah, it's good.
So I mean, even if they do have their little jokes or snide remarks, to me it's no big deal. It's because we're on that big stage and we're getting in front of a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah,
I think it's only going to do good for us.
I thought it was really interesting when you brought up how other actual golf courses are coming to you and talk about maybe actually bringing disc golf to their course. Because I work pretty closely in my job with golf courses, and I've had a lot of guys come to me when they they hear that I disc, or that ask me like, hey, do you think a lot of like people would come and play if we opened up disc golf on our golf course? And I think it's a great idea. I think it's a good idea for both sports, because golf is kind of dying. I almost feel like right now. So
Yeah, that's I would say that's accurate. More and more golf courses are closing, and it's, you know what, disc golf isn't right for every golf course, but in certain situations, which are many of the, many courses, it will work, and it will bring people in. What they're finding when they put in a disc golf course on a golf course is disc golfers, we're used to going to parks that have no amenities. They don't have a bathroom. So when we get the opportunity to go to a golf course and play disc golf, we're gonna get a cart. We're gonna, if it's
Absolutely.
cooler, we're gonna eat in the restaurant. We're gonna come and spend money. And disc golfers are just dying for something like that. And these golf course owners and operators are finding that out, and it's definitely bringing in some added revenue for them.
Do you travel for tournaments as like still pretty heavily, or not as much nowadays?
Definitely not as much, and that's due in part to having
Or ambassador status?
Yeah, but once summer hits, because my wife is a teacher, so
Yeah,
leaving during the school year is pretty difficult.
yeah.
does she travel around with you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
she's always
awesome.
traveled.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we've been she's been going to tournaments with me for a while, and then we actually just bought some airline tickets. We're going to Utah for the Utah Open, and then
Oh, awesome.
Portland, Oregon for the Beaver State Fling here.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
End of May, beginning of June. But the whole family's going, so that's going to be exciting. It's going to be a little different than the old days when would have been just us two, and we might have driven and made a month or however long out of it. But we're flying. It's going to be a little more expensive, but it'll be better than, in my opinion, than me going and leaving them at home. And,
For sure. I'm sure you play better when they're there too.
But so I mean, once summer hits, I'm going to be really busy with playing tournaments, and it's going to be reminiscent of a few years ago when I was playing a lot of tournaments. But as for now, I'm playing a lot more local stuff, and I played a few tournaments in Wisconsin in early April, and then also made it over the Quad Cities. Did the Rumble, which is one of my favorite events of the year. So I'm just playing more local during the school year, and then hitting it through through October or so when I'm able to.
Oh, that's awesome.
What are your favorite tournaments that you try to hit every year, even if you can't travel as much?
It's a good question. I'd have to probably break that down regionally. Starting on the East Coast, really there's two events, and that's the Green Mountain Championships at Smuggler's Notch in Vermont, and then the Vibram Open, which is at Maple Hill, just outside of Boston in Leicester, Massachusetts. And then heading into the Midwest, I just said it a minute ago about the Rumble. It's one of my favorite events every year. It's one that I haven't been able to quite put it together there, but I always seem to have a great round at Westlake and jump a bunch of spots the final day. And this year it's no different. So the Rumble is one of my favorite courses, and it's just, I really like the Quad City disc golf scene, and then the courses are great. So it's a fun event. I've got a lot of friends down there, and it's fun to see them. Some of them are not playing as much, so I might only see them at the Rumble. But Midwest, that would be one. If we go up to the Rocky Mountain region, I would say the Zootown Open in Missoula, Montana. I've played that one a number of times. That's a great event. Yep. And then West Coast, it's got to be Beaver State Fling, being my favorite event out there. It's Milo MacGyver's a beautiful park. Portland is about a half hour, 40 minutes from there, and Portland's a great city. A lot of fun things to do out that way.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's hard to narrow it down to just one, but regionally those would be the ones that are my favorites.
Awesome, dude. Well, I think that basically wraps it up for our questions we had for you. Any sponsors, anyone you want to thank out there?
Yeah, but I've got a question for you guys.
Oh yeah.
But I'll thank my sponsors while it's on my mind. I'm throwing with Discmania Discs. My apparel sponsor is Paragon Disc Golf. Miles Parkhill out of Springfield, Illinois, does a lot of great work. And then I am insured by Ledgestone Insurance and Nate Heinold, Ledgestone Insurance Open. So check them out if you need insurance. My question for you guys. What do you guys think about that Bears draft move? Is this the bulk of your show later? Should I tune in?
No. We can touch on it here with you.
Yeah, we can touch on it.
Yeah, as a lifelong Bears fan, it's a little alarming when you see that we go up one pick. We give all those picks for one pick. I don't hate the pick because I do like the fact that a quarterback we can probably have sort of in our system at least for a year or two, develop him, see what happens. But it's a little weird that we kind of got hosed by the Niners, in my opinion.
Especially with how it's like a $2 million contract.
Yeah, we're paying him a lot, but I don't know. They must really believe in Mitch to go up like we did.
Yeah, and then it also kind of ties pace to the Bears for maybe a few more years because presumably, we won't see. What's Mitch's nickname? Mr. Biscuit. We won't see Mr. Biscuit starting for a few more years, so we can't really
exactly. You don't want to give up pace and sort of what he's building, I guess, at this point. It kind of wraps into our franchise for another. I don't hate the pick. I don't necessarily like everything.
Sure. All right. Well, cool. I was just wondering what you guys thought on that. I saw that you are Bears fans, so
I'm actually a Tennessee Titans fan, but our pick was kind of weird too. We got a guy that was like, whatever. We'll see what happens. But thanks again, man, for joining us. A lot to us today to chat with us for a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on and letting me jabber on about a few things. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of your podcast. And I'll definitely be tuning in a little bit more here.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
Good one.
All right. See ya.
Later. Awesome. Well, that was Dana Vicich of Discmania Discs. Good guy.
Yeah, that's kind of what he touched on. We're just going to go right into the Bears draft picks. Just sort of overall the draft in general. Kind of an interesting draft, really, with the fact that there was a lot of surprising picks, a lot of good TV moments. To begin the draft, just the fact that the Bears gave up 3 2 current picks and then a pick in the future to hop up one spot to get Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
It's like I said to Dana, it's a little alarming because you feel like maybe the Niners sort of gave us a run, gave us the runaround. They may have got a smoke screen and acted like we were gonna. They had somebody that was willing to pick him, somebody that was gonna pick him.
Yeah. And
the Bears obviously were in love with the pick, and that's kind of where it went. But as far as the rest of the Bears draft picks, second round tight end out of Ashland University, small school, tight end, 6'6", 280 pounds, very athletic, former basketball player.
Wow.
Sort of a roll of the dice type player. That's what was weird about this draft for the Bears. Outside of Mitch Trubisky, our other 3 picks were non-FBS schools. So our 4th round pick, Tariq Cohen out of North Carolina A&T, scat backs, 5'6", broke so many records at the FBS or at the non-FBS level.
Really?
And and then 5th round offensive guard out of Kutztown University. Like I said, I think they're just trying to find a diamond in the rough here.
Yeah.
With these smaller schools and
rolling the dice and seeing what's
just
up.
hopefully seeing what they can get out of it.
Max.
But yeah, and for the overall draft, like I said, it's really turning into a spectacle. I mean, you could see it, the fact that it was outside. It was on the steps, the rocky steps and stuff. And sorry.
Sorry.
A lot of
crazy dogs.
A lot of cool picks. A lot of interesting picks. Injured players being picked. But yeah, like I said, I think it's just turning into a spectacle nowadays, and it should be fun to come up to watch in the next couple of years. It's always fun to see teams jump, guys rise, guys fall. So, in this year was no different.
Yeah. What did you think of just I'm not into I like football, but I don't like it enough to watch the draft. So for me, I just heard about it a lot on ESPN radio and stuff like that. What did you think? Because I knew you guys were tuning in back at your place and stuff. What did you think overall? I heard on Dan Levitard's show they played the Cowboys guy coming out, and the fans were booing him, and he just started yelling like 5-time champs.
Yeah, and then there was just weird things. Like one guy brought up a portrait of his grandma.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
He got fined immediately.
He got fined for
he's
it?
already going to get fined. Yeah, you can't just bring stuff like that up on stage with you. So yeah, like I said, it's turning into a spectacle. It's turning into something that the NFL knows they have so many eyes on, and it turns into a lot of great TV. And if you are an NFL fan, it gives you something to cheer for, even if your team's not necessarily the best. It gives you something to look forward to. So, as overall, weird draft for the Bears. Kind of interesting to see the way this is going to, just the direction that we're going.
It's going to pan out a little bit. Yeah,
it's going to be one of those draft classes that it's not going to make a huge impact right now. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Mitch Trubisky, he very well could be our quarterback for the next 10 years. Yeah. We don't know. I mean, obviously, we picked him, and guys that study the NFL a lot deeper than any of us fans do saw something in him to go get him. So
I'm paid to just.
Yeah. I have a more optimistic outlook than I think a lot of other people do.
Yeah, and I mean, he did play well. He had his moments in the 13 games that he did play, but I don't know. I mean, he was going to go regardless. It's just who was going to take it, you know?
And like I said, I just think the 49ers made it out like they had these juicy, trades coming in. So the Bears are like, you know what? We're going to go all in. We want this guy, and that's what we want. And
they could have had this thought out from the beginning. They wanted Mike Glennon to just kind of fill the space for the next 2 to 4 years, depending on how long Mitch, since he only started 13 games. Maybe it takes him 3 years to develop. And Mike Glennon's contract, he basically sees all of it. Maybe he does better. They take him for the 4th year before he finishes. But, I mean, they definitely think that Mitch is the quarterback for the future of Chicago.
They better. They better be pretty confident that that's
they better not think he is. They better know that he's going to develop into something. Even though I had heard that they didn't even interview him, nothing like that. Didn't even meet the kid.
I think it was just a matter of he was on the top of their draft board, and once he didn't go one to Cleveland, and they thought they wanted to get him, so they went out and got their man.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean that's basically all I got for the NFL. Unless there's anything else you want to touch on.
No, we can go right back into the NBA.
AP's going to the Saints.
Oh yeah,
we didn't be able to talk about that.
I mean,
whatever.
He's been injured. He's
a
question mark.
Do you think he'll hit 1,000 yards?
Well, I mean, they have a sort of running back by committee there because it's still going to be a Mark Ingram show, and I mean, they do have viable backups as well. But I think that if they can bring AP in, give him 10 to 12 to fit like that, sort of ease him into the role, you know, I think he can still be. And I mean, he's proved that he's a physical freak.
For sure.
So he's defied all these other odds. So if he can, like I said, just not overwork him, I mean, that Saints offense is going to be an absolute juggernaut. If they can go a 1-2 punch with Mark Ingram, I mean, the emergence of a rookie wide receiver and Michael Thomas, I mean, that's gonna be a powerful offense still with Drew Brees behind center. So
yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, let's just switch over. We'll hop over to the hardwood, and we're gonna get down on some NBA right now. Like every episode, we kick off the NBA segment with Jared's Player of the Week, and he had picked one, but switched it at the last minute on me. And while I was creating the image slideshows, so let the people know.
Okay, so my Player of the Week. So the first round is over. We've got the round 2 set up, games tonight. There was already a Celtics-Wizard game, so I'm just basing this off the first round. And I think the player that had the highest impact on his team and possibly even proved to a lot of people how elite he actually is and how mature his game is becoming, and that's John Wall. The Wizards, they ended up they beat Atlanta in 6 games. They beat them in Atlanta, Game 6. John Wall had 42 points and 8 assists, and he was really imposing his will. He has become the best player. He was the best player in that series, arguably one of the best point guards that has played in the first round of the playoffs so far. He's showing you that he's able to score like a number like 42.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's able to get buckets. His ability to drive and his speed to the rim is something to where he's able to get his other teammates involved. And when you have shooters like Bradley Beal and Morris, and I mean, this team's built to score and to defend at a decent rate too.
Yeah, they really are.
I like what John Wall did in round 1. I think the Celtics are going to have a tough time. I don't know how the Celtics are going to guard John Wall, Bradley Beal as the 1-2 spot. Isaiah Thomas is not going to be able to stay with John Wall. Marcus Smart could slide over and do that, but then Avery Bradley.
Avery
Toronto.
Bradley, but I don't know.
But yeah, so John Wall. I mean,
face right there was hilarious.
I was like, I don't think that. Yeah, so John Wall. I mean, my player of the week, just because in round 1, I think he surprised a lot of people and showed his maturity and his level of he's just peaking at the right time.
Because that's one thing that he has been kind of ripped on for a little bit over the last handful of years is his maturity level. And is he going to grow up? Is he going to be the type of person
can he be a number 1 guy?
Can he lead a team and be the one that can control the locker room and get the guys to actually listen and buy into what he's saying?
I think he's proving with that series. I mean, with a showing like that in an elimination game away from your home floor, that's huge. That's huge. That shows leaps and bounds in maturity and with consistency in his game.
Yeah, it's taking steps for sure. Well, keeping it on the East Coast, Larry Bird stepped down as president of the Indiana Pacers almost instantly after they lost to the Cavs. He looked miserable through that entire series. Every time Paul George, even they can offer him $75 million more dollars than any other franchise. But I think he's kind of fed up with. He was fed up with Larry Bird, and now that Larry Bird's gone, he'll stay since there's a new regime coming in. They'll listen to him.
I don't know.
Because Larry Bird kept trying to move him to the 4, and he didn't want to do it.
He needs to play the 4.
He needs to play the 4.
I wish he would just get that through his head, because in today's NBA, a guy at his size, with his scoring ability and his ability to defend at 6'9" or 10 or whatever he is, he's a true 4 in today's game.
Yeah, he really is.
His inability to follow direction, I think that is partially why Bird's leaving. I think he saw the mess that is about to come with the Indiana franchise. Especially they have all these weird pieces, and Paul George I just think he wants to go to a bigger market. He wants to become a bigger star.
If he walks, I mean, they're going to be in an even bigger mess.
And I don't think Bird wants that pressure. I think he's done what he's done. He was relevant for quite a while as a player, as a coach, as a GM. So
didn't he make it to the finals?
I believe he won a championship. I thought I heard a stat.
Can you look that up, Keith?
Where Bird's the only.
I don't think he won a title.
I think he's the only player to win a title as a player, coach, and a GM.
Really?
Or something.
No, Pat Riley. Pat Riley won in 72 as a player.
Okay, I'm misinterpreting the stat.
Magic in the 80s. Now with the Heat.
But no, like I said, I think his accomplishments speak for themselves. So I think he can see in the future that this Indiana team's going to probably blow up and they're going to be pretty terrible. I mean, they have Miles Turner, who's their guy, I mean, they're going to try and build around a young big who can stretch the floor. So if they can get other pieces, they're going to kind of float around that 6th, 7th seed for a while. And I just think Larry Bird can see in the future and know that his time is up. He probably did all he could for this franchise.
And if you look at his past, he is notorious for, well, his time was up. You know, like if you look at Frank Vogel, he's very like, well, after a few years, he's done. And that's how it was for him in Boston when he was playing in the 80s. I'm pretty sure Red Auerbach was the GM and stuff, and they went through coaches. That's how it was when he was a coach. Coach would be there for a few years. Whether he did good or not, it seemed like the coach was gone, another one. So that was his mentality going into it. And so maybe that's just what he's thinking. Like, I've been here a few years. It's time for me to move on.
Another opt-out or leave.
Yeah. He, I don't know if it's like 100% official, but I'm pretty sure the article I read said that he came out and said himself that he was Paul Millsap. Sorry, we're talking about Paul Millsap, but he came out and said he was planning on opting out of his last year, and it's a $21.4 million year for him. His stats on the regular season, he averaged 18 points on 44% shooting, 7.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.3 steals.
I mean, those are elite
blocks.
numbers.
Those are solid numbers.
He's a guy who
Do you think he's earned more than $21.4 million?
See, I don't know. Okay, so the market for players is about to skyrocket.
It's already been skyrocketing.
That's what I mean. So I think Paul Millsap around the right players, because I know Atlanta has been the 1 seed. They were the 1 seed a few years ago,
they've lost a lot of people.
That's what I mean. I think he's sort of in the same spot that Paul George is in. He's done a lot for that city. He's played. He's gotten all-star bids. He's been a really great player for a while for that franchise. So I just think that he's seeing the future. But he's seeing what's coming for the Hawks.
Let me come
at
you.
It's not the brightest.
Do you think, I wrote this down because I wanted to ask you it, and I love that you're going that position because I just want to throw this at you as like devil's advocate. Do you think he's really trying to test the market and become an unrestricted free agent, or is he just trying to step away to re-deal with
his own contract?
Because he's been there so long, he seems like he gives off that kind of nitty-gritty guy, like he would want to stay somewhere and stay put.
I think, I think he could be an integral piece on another team. And I think if he stays with Atlanta, I just think he's just going to be another one of those players on a franchise
that don't win.
That he's good. He's an elite player. Everybody knows he's good. He's chippy when he's on the floor. You know he's a good player, but he never breaks through the surface because he's never had the right pieces around him.
So he needs to go. He needs to go somewhere.
I think he could be a 2nd to 3rd best player on a championship team.
Oh, all right, let's hear some team. Where would you want to hear it?
He started out with the Jazz from 06 to 13, and now he's been with the Hawks since 2013.
And he was great on the Jazz. He was on that Jazz team with Dennis Cantor. Like before.
That'd be cool if he was on the Jazz now.
That's what I mean. I think there's a lot of places he fits in. I don't think Atlanta's one of them. I mean, they just don't really have that spark.
I mean, the thought with the Clippers is that if they let Chris Paul or either Chris Paul or Blake Griffin, they're going to let Blake Griffin walk over Chris Paul. They would rather sign Chris Paul over Blake Griffin. Why not bring in power forward Paul Millsap?
I don't think that idea, because then again, he's not a guy who needs the ball in his hands.
No, he would be perfectly fine.
He's a good I don't
playoff. He wouldn't be confrontational. Yeah. Maybe he would, but like.
I think he's a nitty-gritty guy.
That would probably be a good fit.
I totally agree.
Also, he's going to be testing the waters a little bit. Will Barton and the Nuggets, the way the CBA is negotiated right now, people in like a 4-year deal or something like that, when it comes to like the 2nd or 3rd year, I think it is, they're able to renegotiate with that team and do an extension if they want. And the Nuggets are trying to do the extension with Barton because, I mean, he's had solid numbers this year.
He's broke out in the last 2 seasons as a viable
this year, 13 points, 44% shooting, 4.3 rebounds, 3.4 assists, almost 1 steal and half a block a game.
And he's
coming off the bench.
That's what I mean. And he's like an energy guy off the bench. He's not really going to come in and hit a lot of threes. He's a very spotty as a sort of shooter, spot-up shooter. He's not necessarily the most consistent, but as far as an energy guy, a defensive guy, he's going to get dunks, rebounds, steals. Yeah. He's a guy who you can plug in.
He's going to play the game.
Yeah,
he's not going to be one-sided.
Right,
he's going to play both sides
of the ball. But then there are points even in this season, in the previous, he will break out for 30-some points in 26 minutes. Yeah. So he does have the ability to kind of turn it on when he is feeling it.
Like 2 years ago in fantasy basketball, he was like a 10th rotation. Like he'd be the first
waiver wire.
The first one you drop to add somebody else because he was very spotty.
Yep.
And the last year and a half, maybe towards the end of last season and this season, he was a more you could have him on your roster as a legit, if you're in a deeper league, and he's a legit points for you in fantasy-wise.
Yes, and I think that's kind of how he even fits in the actual NBA.
Yeah,
he's a good piece. He's not your 1 through 5, but he's a great bench player. And I just think the reason why, like I said, he's not going to agree to an extension is because he sees that he's becoming a viable piece, and he's probably the highest his marketability will ever be is right now, and the fact that the collective bargaining agreement is so much higher, the cap is so much higher than it was.
Yeah.
I think a guy like Will Barton on the right team is going to get, like you said, other players of his caliber, those DeMarre Carrolls.
And Kent Bazemore was
exactly
one, I remember.
Right.
4 years, $70 million.
And if Kent Bazemore can get $70 million on 4 years,
Will Barton,
there's a lot of guys out there that gotten crazy deals that haven't.
Austin Rivers, his contract is just through the roof.
Right now, with what Will Barton was in a 4-year, $11 million or something like that. He's owed $3.5 million this next year. But with the extension, with his current salary or whatever, he would be looking at a 4-year, $39 million offer. And with those other people like Kent Bazemore getting $70 million over 4 years,
it's just because he has leverage. He has leverage now.
Yep.
And the Nuggets,
like Deion Waiters.
The Nuggets have a lot of solid pieces with the rise of Jokic.
Yep.
I mean, like you said, Emmanuel Mudiay has kind of been a downer.
Still spotty.
Jamal Murray,
he's still young. Yeah. Now. I mean, he's only was this his sophomore year?
Yep. And so Jamal Murray's, this was his rookie season. He's starting to play better.
He improved for sure. Emmanuel Mudiay his first season. Just give him. If in 5 years Emmanuel Mudiay is still playing like this, okay, that's who he's going to be. But he has a couple more years to develop and blossom a little more.
I mean, if they do lose Barton, though, they're going to need to fill that spot, I feel like, with somebody else. Because he played heavy minutes off the bench for him.
Yeah, whether they trade or
something. Yeah, then let's get into a quick playoff preview of the first round and predictions for the next.
Yeah.
We've already talked at length, so we'll kind of make this quick, kind of get out what we think of the first round and how we think this next round is going to go. So, obviously, round 2 in the Eastern Conference, Celtics, Wizards. The Bulls just sputtered out towards the end.
Well, the Rondo injury,
was
huge.
It was huge. Mentally, it was huge because our point guard depth was just, we were starting Isaiah Cannon at point guard in the playoffs. So that just shows you how slim our playoff depth, or our point guard depth was. But give it to the Celtics. I mean, what Isaiah Thomas went through in those first few games to come back, to play well, to keep pushing through. I mean, they were the 1 seed. They had to stumble real quick. The Rondo injury did sort of derail the Bulls a little bit when it comes to point guard depth. But I think the Celtics come in.
Overall, I think the Celtics still would have probably too. We did our predictions. I don't remember what I said, but I think I picked the Celtics in 7.
But and so the Wizards, they handled the Hawks. Sort of weird how the Hawks are playing these rotations when they go out and get Dwight Howard, and yet in these
Dwight Howard was nothing.
These big moments in these big fourth quarters, he's on the bench.
Yeah.
So I think with that and the whole Paul Millsap thing, Hawks were never really going to be anything to be dangerous.
Nope.
I didn't think they were ever a dangerous team.
They were a first round, maybe getting through the first round, then they were done.
So now it's Celtics Wizards. Celtics take game 1, but it was a good game.
123 to 111.
So I personally think, I mean, you heard what I said on John Wall. I think he's elite. I don't think Isaiah or any of that backcourt can guard him for 7 games. I like the Wizards in 7. I think it's going to be a tough series, a gritty series.
John Wall, how he was the player of the week for you last night. Was it last night? Last night in the game, he posted 4 rebounds, 16 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 20 points.
He's all over the court. I
Yep.
mean,
not the
20
most efficient
16
shooting night.
assists.
Not the most efficient.
So that
shooting
shows
night,
it when he's
but
not
he
having
picked it up with the
exactly when he's not having an he doesn't pull the Russell Westbrook where when you're not having a good shooting night, just keep shooting. He tries to get his other players involved more.
Yep. See, and this is what does it. I mean, when you have Kelly Olynyk dropping 12 on you, Avery Bradley dropping 18, Isaiah with 33,
they just had
Horford
a great
with 21, Crowder with 24.
Spread out.
Their entire
If
team.
Crowder gives you
play.
24 points
That's a
any
great
given night, yeah, you're probably gonna win.
He shot 6 for 8 from 3-point.
He is not that consistent of a three.
No, he's not. That was just they were at home and it was the groove.
Yeah, and they were just feeling it that night.
But
I think it's going to be a tough, gritty series, but I do like the weapons that the Wizards have.
I like the weapons that they have too, and even though I kind of just did this to be like, you know, but with the way John Wall has played and the way Bradley Beal has played as of late, I think the Wizards could force a Game 7, and if there is a Game 7, I'm going to go with the Wizards.
Yeah, I like the Wizards too. So in next round, or next seed is Cavs Raptors.
Yep.
Probably what most people thought was going to be the matchup. Not really a whole lot to say about Cavs Pacers series. LeBron. That's all you got to say. Raptors Bucks was actually a very interesting series.
Yeah, it was.
The Bucks came out strong. A lot of people were hopping on the Bucks bandwagon thinking that they were going to even challenge the Cavs. But the Raptors settled into the series. They developed a game plan to stop Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I think the Raptors, they just hit their stride with that team, and they just absolutely closed them out quick towards the end there. So I think the Raptors are hitting their stride. Now it's Raptors-Cavs. Game 1 is tonight. It is started.
Yep. The Raptors
close game
are
so
down 3, 41-38. Cavs with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. It's live on TNT if you want to catch that.
And the Raptors have
Let's stay here.
Raptors have crazy weapons. We all know that coming in. They're still not necessarily playoff experience-wise. They've kind of got jumped in these first few rounds.
Especially with the
years.
new pieces they have.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can really mesh like they were last year.
But
they force a Game 7. They'd be lucky to get to
They built this team to beat the Cavs.
Yes,
with
they did.
With the addition of PJ Tucker and Serge Ibaka, they can go smaller at the 5, and they have the weapons in Lowry and DeRozan at the top. So I just think with the fact that they have guys that are built to guard LeBron, like PJ Tucker, who's a gritty defender, big-bodied. He welcomes a challenge in guarding the other team's best players. So
really,
I think
really does.
they've hit their stride right now. Toronto has. So, but then again, it is LeBron and it is the Cavs. So I do have Cavs in 6.
Yeah, I actually I took the Cavs in 6 or 7. I was kind of on the fence. But
I think the Raptors have the ability to push a Game 7.
But I think they need
I'm
another.
not betting against.
I honestly think they have the ability to push a Game 7, but I don't think it's of this year. I think with the trades coming as late as they did, I think if it comes down to a pressure moment, they're not. I don't think they would be able to pull it together like the Cavs would be able to. If you're gonna put them both on a pendulum of in that pressure moment, what team would be more likely to show up? Will you go, please? You're like flipping your tail everywhere, dude. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Cavs in 6.
I mean, that's the scenario. I think I would not be surprised if the Cavs swept this series too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Just because LeBron. But yeah. So next series, Rockets Spurs. Fun matchup. I think it'll be a good matchup.
That's the best matchup of the second round of the playoffs. That's my favorite matchup.
And so Rockets Thunder, storyline for that is obviously Russell Westbrook not being able to will his team across a better team as a whole. I mean, it was pretty obvious that the Rockets were the better team.
Oh yeah.
Russ kind of shot him out of a few games, and Spurs Grizzlies was actually a great series.
It was.
There were some really fun games.
They've had some good series over the last few years.
But then you see right again the veteran team and the veteran leaders that the Spurs are, the Pop, all that stuff bundled in, Spurs end up coming out. So, as far as what I think the series is going to go,
Kawhi ended up coming out.
Kawhi is.
It was insane. I was watching that game where he went lights out, and I heard somebody say like it was weird. It just got to the point to where I heard they were interviewing someone on the Rockets, and they said it was just like if he shot the ball, you knew it was going in.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I was at home watching it, and anytime he got the ball, in my head I was thinking, I was the only one watching it.
It just felt
I was like,
oh
my God, he's going to drain this. And then boom.
Become a better. That's what's good
Oh
about
my
him.
gosh.
He
Efficient scorer, too.
He's really blossomed.
Went from a great defender to a
great defender, long arm, kind of gritty,
his
steals, rebounds. Yeah,
his hands are gigantic.
They're almost as big as Shaq.
he's incredible.
But
He's absolutely incredible. But as far as what I think the series is going to go, I've kind of been on the Rockets, I guess you could say, bandwagon in this sort of the second half of the season coming into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just think their ceiling is a lot higher than the Spurs is.
Oh,
with their weapons, their ability to shoot the three ball. Obviously, Kawhi is going to be guarding Harden, but I think Harden's ability to get his assists and get his other guys involved, I just think the Rockets as a whole, and like I said, as their ceiling is a lot higher than the Spurs. So I think Kawhi has shown what he can do and what he can. But even in the game where he had his best game of the playoffs so far, they still lost that game.
Yeah.
So I have the Rockets in 6. I think the Rockets are a powerhouse, and I think the more games that they play together in the playoffs, the better they'll be.
I think I chose the Rockets in 7. I think with the coaching staff that Pop is and what he has, and the talent, even though they're a little bit older and their bench is a little bit deflated compared to Houston's bench, I think that it's going to be a 7-game series. But I think the Rockets are going to clinch it out. With how young the Rockets are compared to the Spurs, I think they're going to have more energy. If LaMarcus Aldridge doesn't show up, the Rockets are for sure going to take this.
Yeah.
If he plays like we all know he can deep down, like he could in the Portland days, it could be a really great series that we have in front of us, and it's going to go 7 for sure if he shows up. But I just think that with the younger, more deep roster, with the Rockets bench, they're just going to end up taking this one, and they're going to meet the Warriors in the conference finals.
Which is going to be, I hope for that matchup every day. I just think
it's going to be great.
For the NBA, that's a great conference final.
Yep.
That's what they're looking for. So,
and if it's them two, and then Celtics, Cavs,
that's huge for the NBA.
That's insane for the NBA because that's what they talked about all year.
Yep.
These
storylines,
boom, and it's gonna happen.
Great players facing other great players is exactly
it's what you want. That's why.
So in the next Warriors Jazz end up closing out the Celtics. The Jazz closing out the Clippers in a Game 7.
Rough Clipper loss.
I mean, again, Clippers injury bug. We can't talk about it enough. Blake Griffin goes out, broken toe, and the shift of the series. I had Utah in 7, or maybe I had Utah in 6.
Here's a question for you. Okay, they kind of get injured. Blake goes down. They've lost the last 5 years in the first round. How do you think do you think even though only one person like Blake Griffin goes down, should they be losing in the first round?
That's what I mean. I think even the way this team is built, you would think even with one of their superstars out, they could still get past a Game 1. You know what I mean? Or a Series 1. That's kind of what this franchise is sort of looking at. They're like, okay, even if we have all 3 of these pieces healthy, are we still relevant? Because it's been year 5 or 6, I believe, with this roster. Yeah. I mean, they've been unlucky, but like you said, if they're elite enough, they can get past the first series, right?
Yeah.
So even with
they were a game away from the conference finals like a year or 2 ago, and they lost. Like that's all they do is lose.
Yeah. But it's
sad. Chris Paul's a great player. Blake Griffin's a great player. Paul Pierce, they have a good roster. On paper,
it's always
great.
been the words on paper when it
And
comes
Chris,
to the Clippers.
yeah, it really has.
They've never shown it on the court.
No, they haven't.
For spurts in the regular season, they seem to be dominant. Things seem to be flowing together, but now this experiment is coming to an end, and I don't think Chris Paul's coming back unless he chases the money. Obviously, the Clippers can give him the biggest contract, but I think if it's a matter of does he want the money or does he want to chase a championship?
Yeah.
And I think he's still relevant enough to where he can chase a championship and he can be a huge piece on a championship team.
Yeah.
But the Jazz got the better of him, and now the Jazz play the Warriors. And
how crazy would it be if Chris Paul went to the Bulls?
I mean,
they got rid of Rondo, and then they had him at point with.
But then we still just keep getting older. Like,
Chris Paul's not that old. You just said he has the potential to be a championship team.
I agree.
That would move them up. I mean, there's nowhere else for him to go. He can't go to Cleveland with LeBron.
I've heard spurts of Milwaukee because of their young core.
But that's not win a championship now.
How is it? With the young guy, with Giannis and Chris Middleton and Greg Monroe, and
you think they're taking out LeBron?
I don't know. It's all speculative. I don't know where he's going to go, but I feel like he will.
I think he's staying.
I think he'll chase a championship.
Let's write that down just so we have record of it.
But yeah, so Warriors Jazz is what I'm trying to get at here.
Do
you think the Jazz can win a game? Because I have the Warriors sweeping them.
I have the Warriors in 5.
There is no way the Jazz can score with the Warriors.
With ISO Joe, bro, he's been
playing out of his mind, and
Gordon Hayward's been. That was your other player of the week, Gordon Hayward.
Because I think he willed his team into winning that series. So I don't know.
Hey, do you think Chris Paul is gonna stay or go?
We were talking about this. I think
he goes.
Okay, we got 2 stays.
I would say stay.
I think he's going to go try and form a super team just like everybody else does.
He's going to stay. He's got DeAndre. They just need to get rid of JJ and get rid of Blake Griffin and just get some people. Get Carmelo. I don't know, dude. I'm just talking. So I got Warriors in 5. I think maybe they'll have an off shooting night and the Jazz might get lucky at home and play out of their mind in front of their home crowd.
I think even if the Jazz play as well as they ever have, the Warriors have just too much firepower.
Don't make fun of my pick.
And, so the playoffs are exactly sort of going the way that we thought they would. Not necessarily the Clippers getting injured and falling out, but
that is kind of the way
it's just going towards the collision course again of 3 straight finals appearances for the Warriors and the Cavs. And I think we're all looking forward to it.
It's going to be the first 3-peat of finals in NBA history.
Yep.
But yeah, that wraps up our NBA segment for you guys. It went a little long. We had the interview with Dana. If you've tuned in a little later, you can check that out. Once the episode gets posted, it'll be in the beginning. We'll post it as a separate thing. Why are you biting my leg, dude? But yeah, we're gonna take a short commercial break here and go to the bathroom quick, and then we'll come back with our disc golf and gaming segment. So stay tuned. If you haven't heard about Arsenal Discs yet, they are the latest up-and-coming disc golf manufacturer based in Massachusetts. This company has been designing and prototyping discs for about a year now. Arsenal Discs will launch into market with 3 drivers, a mid-range, and 1 putter. Check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Arsenal Discs DG. Expect to see them in your local disc golf shop this summer. And you can check out their website at arsenaldiscs.com. We're brought to you by Iron Lion Disc Golf Supply, located off of 16th Street, Moline, Illinois. Be sure to check them out. Stop in. They got a wide selection, all types of manufacturers. Whatever you want is going to be in there. If you can't check out their shop, go to their Facebook or visit their website at ironliondgs.com. They'll point you in the right direction and get you hooked up with the gear that you need.
All right, so thanks for coming back with us after a short little break. You've been with us before. This is where we go into disc golf. At the beginning of the episode, we did have an interview with a pro disc golfer. So if you're just coming in now or you see this later, go to the beginning of the show. Great interview. But
Dana Vicich of Discmania Discs was on with us earlier.
So there was a national tour event recently, the Glass Blown Open in Kansas. So it was Thursday through Saturday event, but the final round got canceled. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it did. This is the third tournament in the past year that has gotten canceled. Sorry, I just showed him my phone. It was the Raptors are losing 48-62 to the Cavaliers. 24 seconds left in the second. Sorry, just obsessed with that. But yeah, ended up getting canceled. Macbeth was in the lead with 22 under par, so he ended up taking the victory. Nate Sexton was in second, 20 under par.
And there's Wysocki right there.
There was a three-way. Yeah, there was a three-way tie for third at 18 under. Chris Clemens, I believe he throws for Latitude, maybe. His image should pop up there. Simon Lizotte and Ricky Wysocki, Kale LaVisca showing up in 16 under, and Johnny McRae, 15 under, showing he can still hang with the young guns.
He's had a good season.
Dude,
so
he's
far.
had a great
lot of top
last few
tens.
years.
Yeah.
Like in the last 3-5 years.
He's fun to watch, man. The older guy out there still slinging with all those young kids.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool to see that. On the women's side, Hannah Leatherman of Inova and Paige Pierce, who's had an amazing year so
Always
far.
hear her name at the top.
You're basically either talking about Paige or Katrina, it seems like. But they tied for first at 2 under par. Jen Allen came in third at 1 up, I believe. She was actually in fourth at 6 up. Lisa, I cannot pronounce her last name. I don't want Vajkis, +3. So I've never heard of her. I'm sorry about that, Lisa. But congrats on the third place finish at national tour event. That's awesome. But yeah, lightning. There was a bunch of lightning on Saturday. Huge storm swept across basically the whole country.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were hit by the same storm that was happening in Emporia. There was lightning delays I saw on Twitter as I woke up and was trying to, because I wanted to watch it. And there was lightning delays and all this stuff. So then they ended up postponing, and then it finally just came down to, I saw PDGA posted, sorry, we're blah blah blah, but we.
So what are these players expecting them to do? When it comes to canceling.
When it comes to the delay, they're still like preparing, like
they're
gonna play
thinking
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, instead of teeing off at 9, I'm teeing off at 10:30. It looks like, and so they're just going about their normal routines. And then once it gets canceled, I think for the winner, it's kind of like, yeah, I just won, but like I kind of didn't,
because there's still what would have happened. There's
still what would have happened, but then the other players are like, what? Like Nate Sexton, I know he's really good friends with Paul Macbeth, but I'm sure inside he's like,
I could have taken you out.
Wow, like this could have been the one.
Yeah.
You know, this could have been it where I overcame you and got this victory. But
sort of an uneasy feeling.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hate out there. You see a lot of people posting about that it's not right, and if it is, they do that. They need to do a makeup day. Like, why don't they play on Sunday if they get rained out Saturday? Mm-hmm. Sunday's a travel day. Just move it back a day. Like all this stuff from people.
Seems like they need a scheduling update or someone.
It seems like the PDGA needs to step in maybe and make a call and say, hey, we're going to start doing this for events. If there is a rain delay, you need to schedule it or have some sort of makeup day on it. But right now, they just cancel it because, I mean, if you really expect them to go out there and put the players at like safety
at risk, they'll never know.
You're not going to do that. No tournament director is going to put players at risk. And if there is lightning and stuff, why would you want them to be out there even potentially with that chance, you know? But I think people just need to calm down a little bit and just accept the fact that every now and then a tournament's going to get canceled because of some bad weather.
That happens.
And the fact that 3 have happened kind of boom, 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 that's just an odd coincidence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to freak out about. Time goes on. Paul Macbeth probably would have won anyway. Who knows? I mean, I posted a poll on Helmets and Headbands Twitter saying who did you want to win, and I got on my personal account and I voted Paul.
Yeah.
So yes.
You're right.
But
as far as like upcoming events, is there anything noteworthy that we should sort of let our listeners in on?
I noted that the 2017 Illinois AM Championships is coming up the 6th and 7th in Pekin. Dana Vicich, who was on with us earlier, said he is hosting the Swinging Bridge Open in Pontiac, Illinois, I believe he said, and that might be May 5th. Not sure what he said there, but I think it's sometime here in May. The Masters Cup, presented by Innova. It's a national tour event, May 19th through the 21st, Santa Cruz, California. There's a lot of women's events going on right now, so if your girlfriend or your mom or your sister is kind of playing, is on the verge of wanting to do a tournament, or you just want to make her do a tournament, there's a lot. They're highlighted in the pink on the PDGA website. Just go through their event list. It might be the Women's World event this year. I'm not sure. It's like an every other year. But yeah, give those a check. There's so many tournaments. I just tried to pick out a couple big ones coming up. I mean, if you want to look for yourself, there's a lot. So go ahead and check it out. But
so end of the disc golf segment is the disc/tip of the week for Lip.
Yep. I'm gonna go grab it.
He's gonna go grab the disc right now. He will explain to us.
Adding.
Yeah, it's tension.
Some suspense.
But yeah, so disc of the week. Lip takes a disc, maybe a technique, something that. Just something cool just to hear about from someone who's thrown a lot of discs, who's have been in a lot of different scenarios when it comes to throwing frisbees. So what do you got for us this week?
Okay, so this week,
I really like this.
Last week or the other week, I did a mini buzz. Discraft does their mini disc now. They got the Challenger, the Undertaker, the Nuke, and the Buzz. I chose a normal buzz this week. These are just some off my shelf. These two are thrown. This one is a Z Buzz. That's just the plastic. It's kind of like Champion if you throw Discraft, or if you throw a Nova. I'm sorry, but it's a mid range. It's stable. It's a straight flyer. I mean, I use it. That's my Z one.
I use the hell out of these things.
This is from the Illinois State Championships a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
But this is a Crystal Buzz, more gummy. This is like Champion, but I don't know. It's not, though. I would compare Z more like Champion, but maybe not.
Yeah, it feels more like...
That feels more like it. This is just, it's more gummy. It's soft. It feels more like Star, but clear. Buzzes are going to hold whatever line you put it on. If you need it to fade right a little bit, you put a little ante on it, and it is going to flex and ride that line the whole way out. This is another one. I've never thrown this one. Got that off Dan.
Yeah, that's a nice
old Dan Bridenstine. And this one, when I got this one, I was told that there was only like 50 or 150 of these. They're the Buzz. It's a Buzz. The Wasp tooling. It's the Wasp tooled Buzz, but it's from the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championship. Got a ghost stamp on the bottom there. You can see in the light with the Buzz stamp. And so I was told there was only like 100 or 150 of those made. Someone can tell me that that's fake. I've heard it's not true, but I don't know for certain. The person that told me is like a credible person. So, but yeah, I've never thrown that one. It's normally on my wall, but I thought, hey, if I need to, I'll just throw it, whatever. But buzzes are great flyers. I generally throw rock threes for my mid-range shots, but I will throw a buzz if my rocks are a little more beefy. So if I need just a little bit more straight or something that's not going to fade out on the end, I'll throw my buzz instead. Basically.
Yeah, it's I have two. I have an overstable buzz and just the regular one. And like you said, it's a straight flyer, and that's what I use it for. You can even use it. I use it on the tee pad even. Just nice, easy, straight line throw. The more you throw it, I feel like the easier it gets, just like any other disc. Like I said, it's one of my. I use the shit out of it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. That wraps up our disc golf segment. We are going to move on to gaming. Wrap up the show with gaming and just kind of. I mean, the gaming is just kind of casual talk.
Yeah. It's a nice way to end the show because, like I said, we're all gamers. It's fun to talk about. We kind of talk about the same game, Overwatch, just because it's at the forefront of multiplayer gaming right now.
Yeah, everyone loves it.
And
if you don't,
one of their events is wrapping up today, the last day of the Uprising event.
Yep.
Bunch of cool skins. I really love the event itself. the mini game that they had. It
right.
sort of gave you the opportunity to really just kill bots.
Yeah.
I mean, bots are so fun, especially when you have Overwatch characters like Roadhog and just stuff like that, where you're not always killing multiplayer people. So as far as the skins go, I thought it was a very successful event when it comes to the looks of the skins. I thought the skins looked cool. As far as my favorite one, I think we're going to go around to us, at least me and Lip, say our favorite skin.
Producer's getting in on it.
I don't know if producer Keith's got one, but I know if you've seen the show before, I'm kind of a McCree homer. I love what McCree offers. I think he's a good character. His skins have been really cool lately, and I mean, this Uprising skin is awesome. I mean, if you get his gun gold, it's Black Watch McCree is what it's called. It's supposed to be McCree when he's on sort of the bad side of things. He's sort of a villain, I guess you could say. Dressed in all black, he's got red accents, black hat. He just looks like a bad dude. And I love the accents. I love the way he looks. Who's yours, Lip?
My favorite is Bastion. I'm a big fan of the color purple, and him all purple with the orange barrels.
With the orange on the barrels.
He's got the little like gray, yellow, and red bird on his shoulder.
Bastion. Okay.
Yeah, it's clean. He looks clean, and that's not a legendary. So yeah, that one's a lot easier to get than even like you say the McCree one, which is 3,000 coins. Which is hefty, or you get it in a box, obviously. Yeah. Keith, do you have one off the top of your head?
I mean, I'd like to pick a different one just to get some variety.
Right.
I do like the McCree one a lot.
Cool.
And
Widowmaker was cool.
Yeah, Widowmaker's gun is really cool.
Yeah, the gun looks super dope.
Yeah,
it's the main draw there is the gun.
But I mean, everybody loves skins.
Yeah,
and I feel like they did.
Your brother, when I was at his house, were you there when he bought the 24?
Yeah, Genji.
Paulify. Check out Paulify on Twitch. PAW.
No, it's different. It's Lucas PTV now.
Lucas PTV. I like that.
Easy. Rolls off the tongue.
Lucas PTV.
All one word.
God, that's so good.
It's nice.
We need a marketing.
Lip and J. No, doesn't work.
But yeah, so as far as a whole of this event, I'm gonna give it a grade. You can agree or give your own grade. I'm gonna give it a B+ because I always love the events. I don't think any of them really suck. It's always something fun because Blizzard keeps bringing new content. They're tweaking characters, giving us skins. They're giving gamers what they want. And I thought this was one of the heavier ones when it comes to cool skins. I thought it had a lot of cool skins, a lot of cool guns, new accent pieces and stuff. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna give it a B+. I think it was great, and I look forward to what's coming next because I feel like Overwatch has not disappointed lately. They've been on the game.
Yeah. I'll give it a B. I mean, I didn't play it that much, but I'm not a big fan of playing against AI, playing against computer. I like that type of gameplay for like World of Warcraft, but something like this where it's just like a first-person shooter type deal in my hands.
Very multiplayer based too. Like it's just you versus the other team.
Yeah, I really want to just get out there and play against other people, and I mean, yeah, that's just kind of my thing. I would rather play online against people rather than against computer. But I mean, then again, I also play NBA 2K and do the career mode where you play nothing but computer. So it's just like an FPS though. I like to play other people.
Yeah, I'll give it a B.
But it was a fun game mode. The skins were cool. Like
it was
fun. I
thought they were cool.
I played it for like 2-3 rounds, and then I played a couple games of Capture the Flag or whatever.
But yeah, you mentioned 2K, and I do have something that I wanted to mention about NBA 2K.
Yeah, so did I.
I previously, several episodes back, I was bashing EA servers really hard when it comes to 2K because I couldn't even play the game. I couldn't play the game.
Yeah.
It was freezing. The servers were unable. I couldn't play. It just wouldn't let me play a game that I purchased. So I was very salty about it. Now there is, I think the problem is only on consoles. From what I was seeing, maybe specifically the Xbox One, they were having trouble with just running it. It was just when it would start up, it would crash and freeze, and yeah. So and I think they fixed it a little bit, or there's a little like maneuvering you have to do, deleting some free space or something.
Oh, they gave you a bunch of like coins.
They actually did. I logged on and I got like 8,000 coins, which is interesting. But I tried it for the first time, and I've been playing it more. The Ultimate Team for 2K, and I talked about the Ultimate Team for FIFA a while back, and it just brings it to a different arena.
Yeah.
So the Ultimate Team for 2K is the same thing. You open a beginner pack, and they give you a few players, and you slowly but surely build your team. Open packs, get chances of getting rare players and stuff. It's just like bringing fantasy aspects to a video game.
Yeah.
I love it, and I think the thing that the 2K does better than FIFA Ultimate Team is the ability to get good players.
Yeah.
Because in FIFA, if you know anything about FIFA Ultimate Team, you have to spend hundreds of dollars to get good players in FIFA. You have to. It's just the way it is.
Jeez.
They don't give you good players in packs. They don't give you high-level players in the packs unless you're opening multiple. And when it comes to 2K, I had enough coins build up to open up a couple of packs, and immediately I got like a legendary Dennis Schroeder card, and he's absolutely amazing. And it's cool because like that was like one of the first 2 or 3 packs I opened up, and I automatically got a good player. So I thought that was something cool about 2K. And if you haven't tried it, I think you should try it. I think you'd like it.
I still have NBA 2K16.
I don't know if they have the Ultimate Team, do they?
No. I generally skip a year on sports games.
Not because you don't need every single year.
I mean, I don't feel
it's
like
the same gameplay.
Even though
it's just players.
This one from the next 16 to 17,
yeah, it was a pretty big
jump.
It was a jump.
They changed the career mode a lot, put a lot more into the storyline behind
building,
it, so it's not so janky
narrative.
like 16. But the thing I dislike, I asked Peskin when he was here, and he said it's the same way still. In previous years, you were able to sim to the next key game or to a game.
Oh.
I want that to come back.
Yeah,
and I want it to come back for playoffs especially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but
you don't need to play every single game.
I don't want to. I understand it's like, grind out and do those. But Jesus, I don't like grinding out those 4 wins.
Yeah.
I want to just let me do the
key games.
If
I did like that feature as well.
If I sim the key game and I'm down 0-3, okay, I have to play those 4 games because I chose to do that. But most of the time, if you win the first game and sim it, you're up 3-2 or you're tied 3-3 and you get a win. You know, but yeah. That's all I had to say about it.
Yeah, and I see there's some
just won my 6th title.
There's some Counter-Strike skins.
Yeah, yeah. Counter-Strike did some. I hadn't played for a little while. I got on over the weekend. Hidden Lip on Twitch if you want to check it out. But they had some new boxes come out, and there's some new M4 skins and stuff that I saw that were pretty dope looking. I was tempted to put some money in my Steam account, but I did not.
From the small stint of CSGO that I did play, there's some really cool skins.
Yeah, there's some dope skins.
There's some artists. Some artistry goes into making.
You know how they do them? People.
I was gonna say
you and me
can create
whatever, and you submit it to Steam,
and it just gets popular.
And if it gets if they like it, they post so many, and then people vote on them.
See,
and
that's
then they
cool.
implement them.
That's a really cool aspect of that game.
And they're so cool. They got some cool skins out there. You should check them out. And also something I wrote on mine was Munchkins. We played some Munchkins over the weekend.
It's a board
Sunday.
game.
It's a board game. A little different from what we normally talk about, but it's such a fun game.
It's
and
very
if you haven't played it, go check it out. It is very cutthroat. You're gonna get mad at your friends, but you're gonna have fun getting mad at your friends. It's a great time.
It's a board game to play. 4 is about the perfect number. Just to give a little backstory of what it is. It's sort of a role-playing board game in a matter of you start with a player, you build your player up by putting gear on him, swords, helmets, boots, get different abilities, different classes, races.
There's the CS.
I make it sound more complicated than it is, but once you start getting the hang of it, we got addicted.
Oh yeah.
We sat and played game after game after game. There's all these cool expansions, different themes. It's a fun board game for people who like sort of fantasy role-playing type of experiences.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Yeah. There's a Wizard of Oz one?
I'm just scrolling.
Oh, Munchkins. List some of them off if you got them pulled up there.
Expansion. Okay.
And they aren't that expensive, so like, just get one.
You have to get the first one. Well, you don't really need the first one. You just need a board. Just draw on a piece of paper and do 10 spots.
Yeah, I believe they show you how to do it if you don't have the board. But the board is definitely a better way to go.
Just buy the first game and then buy the expansion.
They got Wizard of Oz. They got Conan ones.
Mm-hmm.
The Pathfinder one that we played.
And I believe our stockpile. How many do you think we have? 8?
9?
No,
there was like 12.
Yeah, we got in a spurt there where we bought as many expansions as
there was like 3 rows of 4.
There's a Hipsters one.
That's Garrett.
There's some new ones coming out that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to get a hold of these.
Maddie and I got Colin one for Christmas. It was like a Marvel comic, like a
see, that's so cool. And to bring themes and stuff like that into an already well-made, put together, like you said, RPG game board experience.
Yeah.
Definitely worth trying out.
Yeah, for sure. Well. That's all we had tonight, folks. Thank you for checking out the show and giving us a little watch-see. Thank you again to Iron Lion Disc Golf Supply. Go check them out. Like I said, 16th Street, Moline, Illinois. Can't check them out, go to their Facebook page or go to their website. And another shout out to Arsenal Discs. Been talking to them through Twitter and stuff. Had a little ad for them earlier. They're a new disc manufacturer coming out of Massachusetts. They got 3 drivers, a mid-range, and a putter coming out this summer. Hopefully, been in talks with them, and hopefully going to work out something down the line for a product review. Want to help them out. They seem like cool people, and they seem like they got some neat stuff in the works that they're going to be showing the sport of disc golf. So that's always awesome. But yeah, thank you guys. Jared, seeing you.
Yeah, we'll be back next Monday, same time, same place, hopefully.
Jared might be in the cornfields planting this here for the next couple episodes. If so, we're going to try to Skype and get the video of him in the combine or tractor. What are you even doing?
Just tractor, just cultivating before we actually put it in the ground. So yeah,
you're going out there like tilling, and then they're coming behind you planting. All right. Well, yeah, that'll be in the works. Hopefully next week we got him here live, but if not, it'll be like me and Keith chatting, and then him on the thing. We're just gonna try to at least put something out, just get as much content as we can. So again, thanks for viewing us, and hopefully we'll see you next week.